right?
This is the greatest show.
Which isn't really a freak, is it? You're going to have a shave. Have a shave, you're not a freak anymore.
Yeah.
A bearded woman. Compared to a fellow who's got no arms and legs, a bearded woman, you're get out. But it was like a fellow with no bottom half to his body.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome back, everybody.
Yes, it is finally here, the finale of Series 1 of Ricky Gervais Show. Are you excited, Davey?
Always. I mean, who'd have thought we'd actually stick it out for as long as getting up to a finale? I'm amazed we stuck at it. I thought it'd be 1 or 2 episodes at best, but we've done well to stick at it. And everyone watching, thank you for the support. It's been phenomenal.
Yes, and thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing too. Keep liking and subscribing. I want to continue to do this because I do enjoy it, and I want to see what season 2 has in store. So the more that subscribes, the more I can do. So, shall we get into it, sir?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get into it.
Questions for Karl, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Yeah. The questionnaire that is often featured at the end of the TV program Inside the Actor's Studio. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Dear.
Is that how it works?
What do you mean? What's the question?
Well, I don't know.
God.
You hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns a place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
Okay, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No. You go through the gate. Peter goes, "Oh, you're expected. He's got an appointment. We're going through the guard. Go through a few doors. Go up top floor. Right past the executive washroom into his big office. Okay, that overlooks the universe.
So what?
So you've gone in to see God. It's an audience with God. You've died. You've gone to heaven. And what would you like God to say to you at that point?
Probably just say, you've done well in that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So welcome to heaven. Any problems, give us a shout.
It's so practical.
Here's a little layout of like a little map.
It's a welcome.
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is "You never did anyone any harm." That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little map.
So he's got a little map of the area. It's
And
big.
he'll sort of say, this is where you go for this is where you go for that.
Clouds.
I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, am I now a ghost then? Or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?
Right.
Loving the ponytail.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be sort of a bit
cagey.
Yeah, a little bit like, well, I don't want to panic you and stuff. I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I'd probably prefer to stay away.
He doesn't even want to.
No, but because the thing is, if you've
That's
done
amazing.
I've done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just
Yeah.
like the same all over again, but everywhere's white. I mean, I don't know if it is like
Do you
this.
think God would like this podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but time's not a problem for him, is it?
Yeah, it is, because he lives for ages, so he needs loads of filler. I bet he's, doing stuff that he's just like, I'm not really into this, but it's something to do, isn't it?
Sudoku and stuff.
But I think there'll be just as many problems up there as there is here, because at least people are leaving here, whereas up there, that's the thing that I'd be worried about the most, actually, that it's really crowded. It's years and years of dead people, isn't it? London does me head in. Up there, it's going to be well busier than that.
No. I think it's like
What about
supernatural.
teenagers? And do you feel that life was better in, say, the 1950s?
I don't know, I wasn't around.
So you understand what it was like in those days?
You've
seen Happy Days.
I don't know. People always say, don't they? Old people always say, it's a better life in the 50s. And it's like, yeah, it was for them. Of course it was for them. They're old now. Being old isn't great, is it? So you're just happy with your lot. I suppose I was happiest in about 1984.
Right, a specific year.
Why? Why was that?
Just I was free and happy.
How old were you?
I don't know.
Just counting on his fingers now.
12.
Right, okay.
And it was just good.
So the happiest days of your life were between the age of 12 and 13?
Yeah, it was good. I had the world ahead of me.
Little did you know your hair was going to fall out and you were going to whinge every minute of the day.
I had my bike. I like messing about my bike. I had your mates. I had a pet magpie.
So you were probably the teenager that you eventually hated?
Pet magpie.
Probably.
Were you a
Yeah,
good
that's a
lad?
strange
Law-abiding?
addition.
I wasn't bad. I just sort of, just potted about. I mean, when people talk about what was on the telly back then, I don't have that much memory of it because I was always out. I was always playing out.
What were you doing when you were out?
Just playing about, just like on a bike or...
Just riding in a circle endlessly
Tell
through
you.
blizzards, rain, sleet, hail.
I never seemed to be in. I was always... When everyone always goes, where were you when Band-Aid was happening? I was always out on my bike. And everything was
Like
like...
you and McGregor.
A memory's always sort of like coming in for some orange and looking at the telly and seeing Princess Diana's getting married. And my mum says, have you seen this? And I'm going, oh, I'm going out on my bike. I was always doing that. The only time I was in the house...
This is why you don't know anything, because you never stopped.
Yeah, but this is what being a kid's about.
Straight
You know
up.
what I mean?
I was
Being
outside.
free.
Well.
Carl, is as though you've cleaned as you raced by on a bike. It's almost like, every piece of information you have.
Your hair blowing in the wind. Carl, your hair will blow out one day. Oh, don't talk stupid, ma'am.
It was easy. So, yeah, 12 to 13 was good.
But you see...
And it was all downhill from then, was it?
13, is your teenager then, aren't you? Life got tough.
Yeah.
I like 19.
Just straight away when I was 13, my mum was like, oh, it's your 13th birthday, you're a teenager now.
Right.
And she gave us a quid to go and get a cake to celebrate it. Went to the supermarket, got a cake, and I just thought, I don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of the way the future is here.
On his 13th birthday.
You were buying a cake. What did you see at the supermarket?
It was kind of like, I don't know, I suddenly felt grown up. I didn't like it.
But I think you were always about 58, really, with your outlook.
Well, yeah, my mum always said I was old. She said I was an old baby. She said I could frown before I could walk. So I always had a bit of a worried look on my face. Didn't say much, just always listened. My eyes moved about more than I did. Just sat there looking around, looking stressed.
My eyes moved about more than I did. Oh, dear, couldn't walk. Well, I can't walk, but I'll try and get a bit of movement in my face. It's a workout, a baby workout. Oh, babies, well, if you can't walk, what about your face? Let your face do the walking.
It sounds like that horror film. It sounds like Pilkington's Baby.
Yeah.
Just you lying there in your cot.
I didn't like all the stuff that's set up for you. Like, my mum tried to send me to like a nursery. I said, no, I'm not having this.
Just like that.
I said, when I'm older and I've got to go, I'll go, but let's leave out this bit. And she said, all right. She was,
I love that he could reason with her. I love him. He's 3 years old with a pipe. She's going, you're going to nursery. She goes, I think not, Mum.
I mean, kids don't play out, do they? Kids, parents are scared to let the kids play out, and that's why the streets are dangerous now, because no one's playing out on the streets. Whereas when I was a kid, everyone was out on the streets. Yep. The streets were safer because there was more people knocking about.
Right.
Let the kids play
and less
out.
cars.
It must be like a constant, like a Larry painting his front garden. Do you know what I mean? Just loads of people just walking around.
There was never any problems. I was sort of taken away by some fella.
What?
Whoa.
No, I was playing about in the garden.
Yeah.
But my dad's mate Tony.
Yeah.
He did tiling with him. He drove past.
I like the fact he's on
And
the
he saw me
road.
looking a bit fed up, so he just leant over, picked me up, took me to the pub. Now the thing is, there wasn't panic. People weren't going, "Oh God, where's Karl gone?"
He's out.
Just.
How old were you?
He's down the pub.
He's
4 years old, yeah. But he's only having a...
He's down the pub with Tony, probably playing darts.
No, it's about 3 or 4.
Sorry, so some bloke drives
3
by
or
who
4?
happens to be a friend of your dad's, thinks that baby looks grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down
But
the pub.
that's what it was
Tony,
like.
you bringing a baby to the pub? Yeah, I might do. Yeah, we're bringing ours. All right, see you later, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whereas now they go, the baby's gone. There's a big full-on panic going
Yeah,
on.
but I think it says more about your parents. They didn't do that. They looked out the back car and you were gone. Some bloke's driving off in a van. They're just going, oh, well,
They drove down the pub.
doesn't Princess Diana look lovely? This is absurd. So what happened when you got out in the pub?
I just was there for a bit, and then
For a bit, just had a game of pool.
then my dad came in. It was like, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are! I love that. Where's my baby? I'm just gonna have a quick pint. Oh, there you are. All right, mate.
So, yeah, I think things were better back then.
That is strange.
Well, it's that time again.
It's Karl's diary.
Oh, what's he written today?
Told Suzanne that I had read that we will have spoken to aliens by the year 2025.
Oh, not long now.
Ricky once told me that if a lion could speak English, it still couldn't have a good chat with us because its life is different to ours. If that's true, we've got no chance with an alien. I'd be worried that an alien could read my mind. I had that problem once years ago when I worked in a studio making cassettes. Some mind-reading woman was having some cassettes made. She waited while I did them. She had a small dog. I knew she was trying to read my mind, so I just thought about the dog. I thought that would confuse her because she wouldn't understand why I was thinking about her dog.
That's amazing.
So firstly, how did you know she was a mind-reading woman?
Everybody who came in having cassettes done, you'd find out about what the job is. So, if it's a band or whatever, it might be a police station needing blank cassettes to interview people.
Yeah.
And she had them to sort of use during a thing where they do mind reading and stuff. So you get a
recording
of it.
Yeah.
And she was just there and she was staring at me like that, just looking up.
Hi, we're Fiverr, a global marketplace with freelancers offering thousands of digital services.
Over. And a dog was sort of looking worried, and they pick up vibes, don't they?
No.
They do.
And were they looking? I'm not being funny. Were they looking at the roundness of your head? Do you think?
They were just looking at me, and I was sort of panicking a bit. And the more that I was thinking she's reading my mind, I was thinking she knows that I know that she's reading my mind. So I just stopped thinking about her reading my mind. Thought about the dog.
What were you thinking about the dog?
Just running about on the beach.
He remembers what he was thinking.
No, just so she thought, oh, hang on a minute, it's not his mind, it's the dog's mind I'm picking up.
Oh, so you thought she'd go, oh no, I'm getting it all tangled up. I've got a cross line here.
I met up with my mate Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms.
No! What did he?
Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this would be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, isn't it, than your hands?
And then would you walk,
a little bit?
How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Karl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd walk sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like.
Oh God! He solved it again.
Got home and read the magazine. There was a story about a baby that was born that looked like a frog. What magazine's this?
That made the news. That was in a proper newspaper in the end.
It didn't really have a neck or top half of its head.
Oh.
It would look all right if it always wore a scarf and a hat. The world would be a more interesting place if there were loads of different types of humans like there are creatures. Then some people would be good at certain jobs. Spider people, ant people, builders, cockroach people, dustbin men.
Good idea, isn't it?
I mean,
Cockroach men, spider men, what are you talking about?
Look at some insects, right?
Yeah.
They don't have machinery, yet they're getting by, aren't they? They have their lives like we do. They get up, they wander about, they collect food, they tidy up, they fix stuff, they make their own house. We can't do any of that. So what I'm saying is, why aren't we using them? Why are these cockroaches with all these powers and stuff going about?
It's all these
But
powers.
how could we use them? How could we
I
harness them?
just told you, dustbin men. Or whatever that
No,
what
you
do mean?
said that if they were also men, if they were cockroach men, we could use them.
You've left a big bit out, but when that 1-inch cockroach becomes a 6-foot bloke wearing a jacket.
It's just that we always use insects for like a bit of fun. You see flea circuses and all that, which is all very well, but I don't think it's getting the most out of them.
Getting the
Woke
most
up at 9:55 a.m. As soon as I woke up, I looked at Suzanne and she looked at me. I said, "Did I tell you about the immune system?" Suzanne started laughing. I said, "It's amazing." She said, "Not now."
Oh God! I was thinking that.
Springing into action, he zips up, his eyes are like. Did I tell you about the immune system? Oh, shut up, Karl. Put the kettle on.
Oh God! Oh fucking hell!
Poor Suzanne.
Karl, let's give him a list. Top 5 something. What are you interested in? Are you interested in news, sport, TV, cars, movies, style?
I mean, I'm into weird stuff, but it seems a bit tight to stick them in a list.
What, like what?
Well, like, sort of freaky people and that. I've got that. But I don't know if they'd be happy if I call one of them and said, "Good news, you're at number 1 because you've got 4 legs or whatever." I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, then this is the Karl Pilkington top 5 freaks in a number 5.
Probably something not too good at number 5, but it's still interesting. Lighthouse Man.
Who's that?
Lighthouse Man.
What's Lighthouse Man?
It's a fellow with a hole in his head. And he, what he does, rather than moan about it, sticks a candle in it.
Shut up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Where is the hole?
he didn't call himself Lighthouse Man, did he?
Well, I don't know. It's just what he
I never thought of that.
nicknames. Because he had this hole. Doctors were like, "There's nothing we can do. Can't fill it." Thought, what can I do with it? And it was of the days when there was no electric and that. You had to walk out
For
with a
goodness sake.
So hang on a minute.
I can have both
Got a
hands
little
for
candle
you.
holder in. Stuck a candle in it. He just got nicknamed the Lighthouse Man. So again, it's not that amazing, but I like the way he was sort of energy efficient.
So was it in his forehead?
No, on the very top of
Energy
his head.
That's
efficient.
perfect. You don't want it in the forehead, Steve. You'd have to walk back with
That'd
your
be
neck crick.
ridiculous.
So he was like a kind of human jack-o'-lantern.
Well, he's a Lighthouse Man. What does Steve? What
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I
better
forgot
description
about
do you
that.
need than the Lighthouse Man?
So yeah, he's probably at number 5.
Wow, that's at number 5, Steve.
Number 4.
What about pig-faced woman of Manchester Square?
Again, you're getting what it says in the tin there, aren't you?
And it's just this woman who had a face like a pig. And the rumour was that it wasn't
no.
a woman. Someone said it was a pet bear and they'd shaved it. That's what
Was
I've
this
heard.
someone? Was this someone you saw? Or
No,
that you
no,
just read about?
this is going back.
This is
This
years ago.
is years and years ago.
Yeah.
When there was loads of like weird looking people. I mean, the fact that it's pig-faced woman of Manchester Square
Yeah.
says that there
Sounds
might
like a
have been one.
story.
Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah, whatever. So there was a lot more of them knocking about back then.
Let's assume that it was a woman, and the first one, the Lighthouse fellow, he's a human. Do you think people would object because of their disfigurement, deformity, a bit like being called freaks? Do you think?
Well, it gave them a purpose back then. See, if you were a freak years ago, there was work for you. You'd have these circus things.
Yeah. This is
Now,
the
if you've got a
greatest
funny head,
show.
you're on the dole.
Number 3,
What about Elephant Man?
right?
Stick him at number 3. He's
Number 3.
He's surely the most famous freak ever to have lived, isn't he?
he's the one who got me into it.
Into it. Sure, he's sort of entry-level freak.
Yeah.
A gateway freak.
Oh, look at that.
Everyone is aware of him.
If the Elephant Man still existed, right, and you got the opportunity to meet him, and you walked in, a couple of questions. 1, what would your first reaction be? And 2, what would you say to him? What would your first question be?
How would I react? Well, I've sort of seen him enough now that it wouldn't shock me.
Mhm.
So I don't even think I'd flinch.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, when I first saw you, that was a bit weird. But now, look, I can look at you. I don't double take or anything.
Comparing Steve to Elephant
I'd say
Man.
to him, I'd probably say, where do you get that at to fit you? You always had that on. Where do you get that from?
Surprised Steve didn't get angry there.
Yeah, that one, didn't he? So yeah, I'd have him. So he's at number 3.
Right. Elephant Man number 3. I can't wait for
Blimey,
2 and
yeah.
1. Right. Okay. Number
Well, I know
2.
what my number 1 is. It's just number 2 now. I don't know his name, but there's a fella knocking about. Well, I don't think he's around anymore. But he had like a normal body. Looking at him, you'd go, "What's up with him? He's not a freak." Takes his undies off. He's got 2 knobs.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, there's nowhere to start.
Yeah,
Do you
but
think
you can cover that up, though.
Alternately, like either way out of this one, either way out of that one, or does he just like spread the load so he's weeing out of both?
I don't think he knows.
What
I
do you
think
mean
it's
he
sort of
doesn't know?
like a lucky dip. When he goes to a urinal,
Yeah.
he can have a little bet with himself. He's just like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
So do you reckon he holds them
Holds
both
them
out?
definitely.
So he takes his trousers down because I mean, you know,
Yeah, you can't use a Y front.
right?
It'd be,
Need more like a W front.
Yeah.
W
So,
front. Yeah,
he
boxes.
pops his pecs down there.
I don't think it's that much of a problem. It's not like
Wow. I don't know.
I'd prefer that than Elephant Man's head.
Well, of course you would.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What if you had Elephant Man's knob?
Yeah, but he didn't work like that, did it? That's the thing. They said he had the body of an elephant. Well, that's the only thing that wasn't of an elephant standard. His knob was normal. Whereas with this fella, it's the other way around. Everything normal. Take the pants off. Oh, well, what's going on here?
But why would you ever take his pants off?
No, I wouldn't. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know why you'd be in a situation with this man with 2 knobs standing there with his pants on, and you go pop your pants off. You're not a doctor.
No, say if I'm waiting in a cubicle, and he's there.
For what?
I'm waiting to have a wee at a cubicle. He's
Oh, in the
taking 2
toilet.
urinals up and going,
Right.
hang on, you don't need them both, do you? He goes, well, actually,
Oh, and then
have a look at this.
right.
He's got 2 knobs.
See, I didn't see him at 2 urinals. I saw him at 1, maybe them pointing inwards.
If you had that, and say the first
This
time
is
that you
taking
met
up a lot of
Suzanne, would
time.
you mention that straight up?
Would you say, right, before this goes any further, I've got something to show you?
Well, let's see. Tell me exactly what you would say.
You had normal head then, didn't you?
I had the same head. Yeah.
Yeah, but it had like hair coming out of it, didn't it? And sort of like...
Yeah, but she also had a smaller arse back then as well. So I think we've both been done.
Anyway, we need to get to number one.
Yeah, number one.
Okay,
it's Pillowman.
Oh yeah,
Pillowman. Okay, now explain for those that don't know who he was.
He's a fella with no arms and legs, just a head and a little body. Nickname Pillowman.
Well, why is he your favourite?
Just because he's amazing. Just the way he just got on with his life. He used to light a cig, just using his lips and his tongue and that.
Oh, I've
And
seen
not
this.
fully lit. He'd buy like Roll Your Own.
Yeah, it's in the film Freaks, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he
He had a
rolls
shave
it.
as well.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Do you think he used to do it? He used to get it in his mouth, and I don't know.
Jesus.
It's amazing. Did he have a knob?
I think he did because he had some kids.
What?
Yeah, he had kids. He was an all right looking fella. He wasn't odd looking. He's just
Sorry?
He looked like Samuel L. Jackson. Imagine him with no arms and legs.
Right, that's odd, isn't it? Really?
It's weird, but you've got to give it to him. You know, I mean, he's there rolling his own. He's pretty cool looking.
I just want to say to people, it's not. You say it looks cool, to, with no arms, no legs to smoke, but don't forget that smoking can stunt your growth.
Yeah, but yeah, remember he was on like this circus freak show thing with like a bearded woman.
Yeah.
Called Johnny Eck was his name. So when you're knocking about with that crowd, you're gonna get a bit. You're gonna get a bit. So yeah, he had kids, and they were all normal kids. They had all the limbs.
Did his wife have arms and legs?
Never saw his wife.
Never saw his wife.
I think
He was probably ashamed of her. She was a bit of a freak.
for someone like him, you'd think he'd just give up, wouldn't you? You think, forget it. What sort of life is it?
Yeah.
I'm like a Mexican jumping bean. It's not worth living.
God.
But he just got on with it. To have a shave, I don't even bother having a shave some days.
No. Nor did the bearded lady. Lazy fucking bitch.
So that's why I've put him at my number one position. It's just amazing, isn't it? The human, how whatever you dealt, some people just get on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Pillowman, or draft excluder, as I prefer to call him.
Oh
dear.
Now, me and Steve are a couple of big shots. We do this for a laugh, but this is Karl Pilkington's only source of income. This is what you do now, isn't it?
This is my full-time job, yeah.
I'd like to do
What do you
that.
think of that? Is this
This is my-
Full time.
Why?
This isn't what I ever wanted. Because I haven't got a purpose, have I? I'm sat here talking about the Pillowman. If it weren't for him, I'd have nothing to say. It just depresses me. That I just wish I had a job where I felt like I was needed,
Oh yeah, I get that.
and I don't feel needed. It's not a proper job.
We need you.
No, I
We
know,
need you for
but-
money for old road.
I know, but this isn't. I wanted something that when you die and that, it's you get up to the gates, whatever, and they say, "What have you done?" And then I'm looking worried, thinking, "Is the Pillowman about?"
Oh God. We did that in sync then.
I know that. You know what? That was definitely like a finale, wasn't it? Really was.
He really came into his own there with his comments and the fact he was defending himself. He's shown that he does have a purpose, and it's comedy gold.
Yeah, and again, we said this before. He doesn't really know he's doing it, but everything he comes out with is comical.
Yeah.
And it's actually factual, because there's a lot of the stuff he said just then about having a purpose and that. I mean, I think that too. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking that right now. I really wish I could be in his position, doing his job. He didn't know how lucky he was, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the same for you. You just want a job where you and the passion that you could live by.
Exactly. But personally, I'm in retail, so there's never any rewards from retail except making sure the customer's always right.
And happy. And cheers. Happy. And happy birthday to you, by the way, viewers. It's his birthday. He's don't guess how old he is.
But we'll have a poll started.
Don't bring him into it.
Yeah, that's why I'm having Chaser, because I'm celebrating.
Yeah, we're celebrating. So happy birthday, Davey. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on this channel again. And if people, let's say you've whet their appetite by looking at you on the screen, where can they find you?
Anyone who's been a loyal supporter, and there are some of you out there, know by now that I'm a podcaster. I host a podcast called I Give That 10 Minutes, a nerdy, geeky TV, movie, video game, and more podcast. You can find me on the socials at Davey10Mins, or just go on to like Spotify, Google, Apple, and other podcasting outlets and just search for I Give That 10 Minutes. Give me a whirl. If you give me 10 minutes, you'll stay for longer, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, not me, because I come to it. I mean, no, I just things happen. But I made an appearance on your podcast this week, didn't I?
You certainly did. You certainly did. Via this particular channel, we converted it to a lovely podcast episode, and yeah, it was nice to have you back on. So
yes, it was nice to be on. And we've
feel
got
free to pop on.
I want to come on again. Sounds like a monthly thing, but I'd love to come on again to talk, because we want to talk about Judge Dredd.
We do.
Sorry, Dredd, with Karl Urban. That looks like a really good podcast idea.
I think so.
There's lots of great movies we could talk about. We could talk forever, as we tend to do.
We're both very passionate movie buffs, so there's lots of subject matter out there. So who knows what the future holds?
We'll expect exactly. And if you want to see more Ricky Gervais, if you want to see Ricky Gervais Show Series 2, let us know in the comments.
Please do.
What are you doing with the thumb?
I'm just saying, yeah, let us know in the comments.
I looked around and I saw this.
I'm just hamming it up, a bit cheesy,
Yeah. But anyway, I'll let you go now, sir, because I know it's actually quite early, to be honest.
For us, yeah.
For us, we usually go past 9:30 on this. But it's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to more continuations of our collaborations.
Yes, more to come. Thanks for having me, and viewers, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
Yes, and there'll be more as well. Leora, I spoke to Leora today. She's coming on next week to do more as well. So
awesome.
Spoilers. So anyway, bye bye everyone. Say happy birthday to Davey.
Take care. Bye everyone.
Bye.